Okay, so my 10 minutes is going to start now. Hey class. Hi, how was your break? Okay, perfect. So I want everybody to get out their nutrition books, the nutrition books that we worked on yesterday. Yeah. Okay, raise your hand if you need a little bit more time working on it. All right, nobody? Okay, perfect. So what are the four main things that we talked about yesterday when we were working on our nutrition books? Yeah, just name them off. Yeah, fruits, vegetables, grains, and what else? What is it? What about meat? What's meat? Or eggs? Yeah, protein. Okay. So to start off, we're going to talk about grains today, and I have a little PowerPoint with me. And so we're just going to talk about things that grains do for your body, where you can find grains, and different ways you can, or things that grains do for your body. Okay, so, open up your nutrition books to the grains part. Yeah, and you should have some pictures of some grains. Okay. All right, so what do you guys think grains are, first of all? Yeah, grains can be beer, I guess, yeah, wheat. Okay, what about, yeah, bread. Bread is grains. Other things? Noodles. Okay, yeah, so you guys have a basic understanding of what grains are, but we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into that. Okay, so like you guys have said, I brought bread to class, and that's a grain, and I brought some other noodles, okay? But grains are more than just bread and noodles, okay? They're things that we intake every single day, and whether we know it or not, okay? So for example, like popcorn, yeah, popcorn is a grain. You know, we are surrounded by grains every day, we digest grains every day, but it's whether or not the good grains separated from the bad grains, okay? So what can you tell me about what would be a good grain? Yeah, like wheat bread, okay. And what's the difference between wheat bread and white bread? Yeah, so the difference between wheat bread and white bread is that wheat bread has a whole grain, right? So it says whole grain. Okay, so eating grains, especially whole grains, provides health benefits. So people who eat whole grains as a part of a healthy diet have reduced risk of chronic diseases. So grains, they provide many nutrients that are vital for health. So do you guys understand do you know anything about grains and what happens when you digest them? Yeah, okay, yeah, it gives you energy. It does give you energy. So when you break down grains, your body immediately turns it into carbohydrates. And carbohydrates, your body stores them, and so it will give you energy. Okay, but that's not the only thing that grains do. Okay, so grains are important sources of nutrients, including dietary fiber. So grains have fiber, vitamin B, iron. Okay, so reduced fiber, such as whole grains or other whole foods, it reduces blood cholesterol levels, and it can lower the risk of heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. So fiber is important for a proper bowel function. Do you guys know what that means? Yeah, so it makes you go to the bathroom a little bit easier. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, fiber bars do that too, but yeah, grains also do that too. So, and vitamin B, does anybody know what vitamin B does? Yeah, it's kind of hard with the vitamins, but vitamin B, thiamine, riboflavin, and niacin play a key role into metabolism. They help the body release energy from protein, fat, and carbohydrates, like we talked about before. So vitamin B they're essential for a healthy nervous system. So many refined grains are enriched with these vitamin B. Yeah, so do you guys know what refined grains? What would be an example of a refined grain? Yeah, rice. Rice is a great example of a refined grain. Okay, so what about folate or folic acid? It's another source, yeah, another vitamin B. It helps the body form red blood cells. So women who are childbearing or who are pregnant, this is it's a really good, adequate food for them to eat. I mean, it's really good. It's a really good nutrient food for everybody to eat, but especially mothers who are bearing children or a child. Okay, so then another thing is iron. And what does iron do? I know you guys have talked about this in your science classes. Yeah, it provides oxygen, right? Okay, so iron, it uses to carry oxygen in the blood. So many teenage girls and women in their childbearing years who have iron deficiency. So what does that mean? That means that they're losing a lot of iron. You're using some of your nutrients, if you're pregnant, to give it to another human, basically, that's within your body. Okay? And so foods along with that are rich, like vitamin C, and that are in meat too. Iron is also in meat. And you can absorb it of non-heme iron. So whole and rich refined grain products, are major sources of non-heme iron in American diets. Okay, so whole grains are sources of magnesium and selenium. Magnesium is a mineral used in building bones and releasing energy from muscles. Selenium protects cells from oxidation. It is also important for a healthy immune system. Okay. You guys have written things in your nutrition books? Okay, are we all following along? All right, perfect. So, out of those things, what have you gotten out of what a grain does? Yeah, provides vitamin B. Yeah, carbohydrates. Yeah, and it gives you energy, exactly. And fiber, very good. So, consuming whole grains as a part of a healthy diet, can reduce the risk of heart disease, like we talked before. Consuming foods containing fiber, such as whole grains, as a part of a healthy diet may reduce constipation, right? Like we talked before, fiber helps bowel movements. Yeah, it helps you go to the bathroom. Okay, so then eating grains can help maintain weight management. And why do you think that? Yeah. Okay, yeah, because grains or whole grains are really good for your metabolism, and it gives you energy, yeah, and your body uses that part of the whole grain and uses it throughout your whole body. So it doesn't just go to your stomach, and sit there, and your body doesn't just turn it into carbohydrates. It gives you vitamin B, which gives you energy, vitamin C, things like that. Okay, so eating grain products fortified with a folate before and during pregnancy helps prevent neural tube defects during fetal development. And we'll talk about that later. We haven't quite got there yet, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so I know you guys don't really cook at home because usually you go home, right? And either mom or dad makes you a meal. Sometimes you can help, right? Raise your hand if you have ever cooked your own meal yet before. Okay, so there's quite a few hands. But usually when you go home, you have someone else making your food, or maybe you have to prepare food for your siblings or for your parents who are working late. So a great thing to do that is with grains. And that's why we're talking about this, the 4 food groups plus dairy, but the 4 main food groups, so that you guys know what you're ingesting in your body, and so that can help you. Okay? Alright, so at meals, to eat more whole grains, substitute a whole grain product for a refined product, such as eating a whole wheat bread instead of a white bread, or brown rice instead of white rice. Does that make sense? Yeah, and what can you tell the difference between white rice and brown rice? So you're going shopping down the store or in the store with your parents or whoever, and you see the rice section right here or the bread section, then how do you know to choose what does it look like, a whole grain versus not a whole grain? Yeah, yeah, the color. So, not a whole grain, so such as white bread, it may look a little different than a whole grain bread. Yeah, because it is a different color, but that's not the only thing. Okay, so when you're looking at the bag or whatever, like this bread right here, can you everyone see that? Okay, yeah, it says buttermilk, okay? Yeah, so when you look at the package, like that bread was in, or these noodles, okay? And for example, the difference between these noodles and these noodles is the packaging. So this box right here says whole grain, excellent source of fiber, okay? That box says whole grain. And these noodles right here, these spaghetti noodles, they do not say whole grain. So that means that they are not a whole fiber. They are not a whole wheat grain. Okay, so that's a big difference. And it's really hard too because the colors were very similar, right? Yeah, they were both a very off color